Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of No Media. Today we are going to talk about the first websites in history. Berners-Lee, the son of computer scientist. He was born in London 1955, the same year as Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, and went on to study physics at Oxford. In those days, there were different information on different computers, but you had to log on to a different computer to get it, and he later explained. Also, on some computers, you had to learn a different program. Berners-Lee presented CERN managers with a proposal for an information management system that used hypertext to link documents on different computers connected to the internet in March 1986. Hypertext, a term coined in 1963, enables users to obtain document or piece of content by clicking on a coded word or a phrase. His boss described the proposal as vague but exciting, and it was initially rejected. Now, he collaborated with Robert, a Belgian engineer at CERN, to refine the proposal, and his boss gave him time to work on the project in 1990. So Berners tried out names like Mine of Information and Information Mesh before setting on a World Wide Web after initially calling the project Information Management. Now, being a YouTuber on social media would require you to be, let's say, not professional, but have an idea of how to use Photoshop for the thumbnails, editing videos. So, you used to do that yourself, or you had someone who helped you with editing and doing the Photoshop?
No, most of the time it was me doing it, like the Photoshop or the editing softwares and whatever. At first, I think we all started from scratch. We didn't know about these things. We used to use like iPhone apps or so. Then you get into like editing, you see like other YouTubers doing cool stuff, you want to try them out. So I used to edit, I used to watch YouTube videos about other YouTubers helping me to do like edits and
it's
stuff.
all in the same community. So you learned how to, I'd say, Photoshop or edit through other people, YouTubers' videos.
Exactly. So actually, I thought about having someone to do the all like editing or thumbnails, but you get this part where like you want to do it yourself, like you have some idea here, like
and no one is gonna understand
exactly.
It.
No one's gonna know what's here, you know. Even if I do give my work like to someone, they may do it like even better, but it's not what I want. You get my point?
Yes.
So I wouldn't say that I seek perfection, but I seek what I like.
What you want to the people to see.
It's my channel. I want to have a certain theme, a certain like something to express what's like or who am I, you know. So most likely I was doing it there. It was all me.
Fair enough. Now let's talk about the equipments. What does it take for me to be a YouTuber? If someone of the like our dear viewers right now watching us and would like to start their own YouTube channel, what do they need? Tell them.
Well, as a start, you don't need a huge like price equipments or like cameras and stuff. You can do it with your phone. It's all about the content itself. And sometimes, let me tell you this, sometimes not just about the content. You may have like a decent content, but not that good. It's about the character behind the camera. Some people watch the videos not because of the content, but they just like the person who's doing the content. So most likely it's the person or the content. They don't like really focus on the equipments that much. I mean, yes, equipments like equals quality.
Exactly.
We want quality, but throughout the way, you don't need like these huge equipments, especially if you just started. I know it's kind of challenging now that a lot of people have like really good quality and you just started and whatever, but trust me, a lot of people just gained a lot of subscribers throughout like in the past 1-2 years, starting from scratch, from the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's not like a scale to success.
So it all depends on the character himself, the guy who's starting. So if you decided to start a YouTube channel, it's all on you. It doesn't have to be a professional camera, like maybe one of those, or the microphone or anything. It's just you and yourself. That's it. That's you and your ideas. Whatever you let the people see is important. The ideas, the way you edit the stuff, and how you deliver a message from you to the world, because the social media is a huge world. Everyone can see the things that you do. So I would highly recommend not following SJ's video. Do not I mean, live a week on date, but
It was the trend,
you
okay?
get
At
the-
some point, I think we all did some trends
you
to
get
gain
the point.
views.
Yes, of course. Make sure to follow trends, but of course, you have to be cautious before doing anything. Think of it and think of who is watching it. This is, I think, the most important part. I mean, now as an influencer, now you know that so many people, 80,000 people watch you. How do you feel before preparing your content? Do you think beforehand that, okay, the kids might watch me, I have to be careful of the things that come out of my mouth, the language and all these kind of things? How does it feel? It's a huge pressure, to be honest. When I used to prepare my videos, I used to cut a lot of things just to be on the safe side because I have no idea who's watching me. So what's your take on that? Everyone has his own different...
Yeah. At first it was like more about like being spontaneous. Like I kind of like the whole idea of being spontaneous. I don't like fake people or like fake, because we see a lot of social, like, let's say influencers in front of the camera, they're like idealist and stuff, and behind the camera, you know.
Exactly.
So I just want to be spontaneous as much as possible. But there's something that one of my friends used to tell me, and it's really like synced in, you know. He said, imagine if you're like doing this video, like we know a lot of kids are watching and stuff, and he was like, imagine if there were like some company, let's say, and they wanted to sponsor you or whatever, and they were sitting in a meeting room, playing your video on a projector. How would you want to be in front of these people? Not only kids, like people who are like from companies and stuff, you know. So it's really synced here, you know. So the same way I want to be in front of kids is the same way I want to be in front of like,
those
you know,
companies and everyone
yeah,
else.
people who are like
Could get
on a
you
different level.
a like
yeah.
something.
So you need to be respectful. You can't say like any words or whatever. So you have to take care of it. And also imagine if one of your siblings, like let's say you have a sister, a brother, like kind of kids, let's say kids, and they're watching it, would you want them to watch something bad or good? So it's all falls under this kind of criteria, you know.
Under this term, yeah, it makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense, and fair enough that people have to be cautious and aware of the things that they say over the internet, because everyone can say it, see it, and watch it. So this is one of the most important things. Now, of course, we're running out of time, Saleh, and we really have so many things to talk about. I mean, I've seen probably all of your videos.
Yeah.
I liked also some, but of course, people they can search SJ on YouTube and they will find you, and maybe they can see some of your videos. And of course, the date one, though, you should watch this one. So, Saleh, before we conclude and end this lovely interview, I really would like you again to look at your camera and tell the people an advice for those maybe who would like to start, or any other advice you think in your mind right now.
Okay, based on my experience on YouTube, like I would say I have much of experience. I've noticed that the way for success, there's like, let's say 2 ways, okay? First way is you doing what you like, what you love, okay? And the subscribers are gonna come. Eventually they're gonna come. Even if it takes days, months, years, they're gonna come. The pros of this one, let's start with the cons. The cons, it may take a lot of time. The pros is that people are gonna like you for who you are and not your content. Now the other way is the opposite. You do the content, the hype, the trend that's on social media. There's no shame with it. You do it, and then once you get the subscribers, you gain them, you change the content to something you like. Now this is also, that has cons and pros. The pros, you're gonna gain a lot of subscribers at once. The cons, maybe not all of them are gonna like your character and they're not gonna stick around. So there's no shame with doing trends. I think at some point we all did that, like even Dave.
Yeah, of course.
See how I'm interviewing you now? Anyway,
Well,
so yeah, these are like the main 2 points.
thank you so much for this tip and
Thank you,
advice for
Dave.
those people who would like to start their own YouTube channels. Always be yourself, and thank you so much, Saleh,
Thank
for
you
being
for
part
having
of
me
this.
here.
Yep, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dave.
Old friends.
It's always a pleasure.
Pleasure is mine.
Safety is always number one, you know? Yeah. And for us in Zanzibar, it's not heard to have sharks close to the reef.
All right, so
Yeah,
safe, always safe.
so we were like a little safe, you know?
All right. Now let's jump back to also one of your videos that I saw on the Instagram. You were in a pool swimming fast, and there was this camera in the bottom. It was at the corner. So what was this camera, and like do you use this camera while traveling or only underwater?
You know, a lot of people try to get very professional with their equipment, but I'm a very simple guy, and I don't like to carry a lot of stuff with me. So I have my phone, a GoPro, and a small drone that I travel with everywhere, all the time. I have it here in my car. Oh, they almost took it away here and there.
Security.
Yeah, but I tend to just have them all the time with me, just in case I want to document something or film myself swimming. For swimming video, I'm actually sponsored by the guys that provide the fin from Ukraine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I have to do certain content creating for them as well. For them to put on their website, to put on their Instagram, to get things going as well. So I tend to just have them with me whenever I go, position the GoPro and while practice, and take 6 seconds away from a 40-second video and just play with it here and there and try to maybe motivate people, show your appreciation for your sponsors, and just
A social media thing.
yeah, some people want to just use it as an artistic view. Some people try to make money out of it. And I really urge people to be careful once you get caught in that wheel. Some people tend to forget themselves. For me, content creating started taking a lot of my time, and then I felt like I was losing myself to this social media area.
It's a huge work.
Especially if you are an athlete and you have to work, and I'm a very social person. That makes you want to be interactive instead of just being on your phone or on your computer.
And like mentioning the part where you are interactive, how would you reply to the comments in your comment section in the videos? Like negative, positive. Let's focus negative, because this is the part where people quit uploading or being on social media. When they receive bad comments, hey, you should stop. You don't know how to swim. You don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
You're not professional enough. So how would you react to these comments? And also, since this is one of my questions that came to my mind just right now, like if you are a wanderer, you are a traveler, you go here and there, people of course would ask you, where's this place? How would you go there?
Definitely.
So tell me about these things, negative comments and the people who ask you about the places. What's your reply to that?
I don't really waste my time with negative comments. If you read them and then you tend to react to them, this is when you start losing. I just tend to delete it and just doesn't exist. You don't need that negativity into your daily lifestyle, and people can be very rude online. Everybody's very brave and strong behind the screen.
Of course.
So you need to protect yourself and not really be pulled into these arguments or defending a point. Instagram is not a real place, It's all this social media is not a real place.
Of course it is. It's full of anonymous people.
So you need to build
cyberbullying.
it into a positive image. You need to impact people, influence people, maybe make some money in the way, and that's it. Don't let it be into the negative side. And your second question was, when people ask me about certain places I go to. When I first started Instagram, it was during COVID. When COVID first happened, it was in June, I think. And in September, I took my whole family and I said, let's just go to Turkey. I was very bored and I knew Turkey was open. I rented a car and we drove everywhere. I started documenting that we were staying in small boutique hotels in very unknown villages. And people start seeing that real Turkish life, not Istanbul, Izmir, big
And not the
buildings.
cities, they're the villages.
Like real,
away from the
real
crowd.
neat villages, really like nice boutique hotels, and the prices were unbelievable. You're talking about 4KD for a night in a boutique hotel.
You said 4KD?
4KD,
Oh, that's-
and I take my mom with me, so I can't let her stay somewhere not nice. The places are nice, they're clean, the hospitable, like the family are usually these places are usually run by their families, and there's just so much soul and personal touch and service, and I think that's how I picked up popularity in Instagram. So in the beginning, I figured I could start a business where I can tell people about these places. So when people start asking me about these places, I sort of reserved of the information, and I said you can book a tour or a trip through my business. And then I saw that people actually start getting very upset And this is when I realized that Instagram and social media is for people to get information. They don't want to follow you to know what's going on in your life. They want more information. People would follow somebody to know where this place is so they can go. So yes, after that I started bluntly just showing the places, even tagging the businesses. And this is when I start moving into a different business approach where I start collaborating with the businesses that I go to, even the boutique hotels. Now I have boutique hotels around Turkey that I send groups of people and travelers every year. And we have a great business relationship, you know? So you have to move with your audience or you will lose.
And of course,
Yes.
again, ignore the bad comments. And
Definitely.
let it go. Now we are running out of time, so I really have this one also last question before we conclude, which is like just a brief story of one of the travels that you had and documented at the same time.
One of the craziest places I went to was the Azores, these islands in Portugal. A 3-hour flight from Lisbon. And this place is just out of this world. You would think it's a Jurassic Park studio or something. And I always wish that I could go back and document it even more. And it's because on the second day, I was flying my drone and I crashed it into a mountain. And it's still there. My drone is still there. And I check on it on the map every once in a while. And
it's still like
it's an impossible place. These drones actually just like Find My Phone. They have
you
a
can
Find
see
My
where's
drone.
the last seen spot for the
pretty
item.
much.
Wow.
So it's still stuck out there.
Right. Mansour, next time we both travel to the same place.
I hope
and
so.
go find your drone.
I hope so.
It's important.
Anybody want to come help? They're more than welcome. We need tall people, obviously. 17 of us, maybe. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I really enjoyed this
so
interview.
Much, yes, of course we did as well, and of course we can talk like all day long about your travels and your stories, but of
some
course,
other time.
This is a short duration interview. Now, before we conclude, look at the camera again and tell the people an advice.
Advice?
Of anything, social media, a passion, whatever.
Okay, everybody's trying to build a brand nowadays in their life, and I want people to know that being natural and not being too occupied by showing other people what you're trying to do or where you're trying to reach. Just try to be natural and don't lose yourself to this vicious cycle of social media. I think I'll keep it short.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Appreciate
you.
You. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Enjoy your travels and safe flight wherever you go. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
And now, it caught my attention that you started in 2007 and you mentioned on YouTube. Do you remember what was the first video ever you created?
Yeah, I do remember.
Can you tell us the story?
I think
or it's like a private one?
No, it's not a private, but I think it wasn't a good idea. I feel like it's kind of awkward because what I was doing, you know, we used to have some specific comments on Facebook, which has to do with a lot of texts, and this text is like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know, it's like it's like a text where you put a lot of numbers and put a lot of letters, and then you make it look like a word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, together. So this is what I used to create, and I've created some videos on YouTube. This is what I started.
Okay.
And I was filming it. I was like trying to create something, something creative, and it was. But
back then it was creative, yes.
Yes, but then I switched to trying to show off my bicycle motocross because I used to do bicycle motocross, and I was like, I want to show it. I want to show it off. I want to create my own videos. So what I've done is, I've told my brother Omar to help me in filming. Like I was like, I want to do the moves. I want you to film me, and then when we're done, just give me the videos. I'm gonna do the video editing on my laptop. And this is where I started with bicycle motocross videos. That was a good start. That was a good
Were
start
you like
with
inspired
YouTube.
by one of the YouTubers back then?
No, I wasn't actually watching anybody on YouTube.
I mean, I can't imagine myself watching YouTube in 2007. It was all maybe.
I don't actually remember the kind of content.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was like new thing, so it was only Google. That's it for me. Google. Anything, Google.
Yeah. Now we switched. Like, if you want to search for something, you would go for YouTube.
Of course.
Yes.
The one and only massive platform. All right. So with 16,000 followers on Instagram, I haven't checked TikTok or YouTube.
I got 600K on.
Wow.
Yeah, I got 600K on my TikTok. Yeah.
Mashallah, that's a huge number.
Yeah, because I used to focus more on TikTok before, but nowadays I'm focusing mostly on Instagram.
And with this huge number, how do you
Yes.
feel while preparing your content? Like, how would you prepare it?
I used to have an idea and then I just start filming it with my
Right
phone.
on the spot.
Yeah, but now it's because I want to be more qualified. I want to create more qualified content. So what I focus on is I write the script. That's the first thing I do. Writing scripts could take a full day
Wow. That's,
because you don't have an idea. You want to write something. So you want to generate an idea first. By generating an idea, you want to listen to songs, you want to watch movies so you can take some ideas. You want to look here, you want to look there. That's how you get the idea. And you want to focus that it becomes entertaining. And it has to be something new. I usually like my ideas to be something out of the box.
so you don't follow trends?
I think I used to follow trends, but following the trend is just gonna be something normal. Like somebody did something, you're just gonna be doing
You're
the same.
just, yeah, gonna copy
So-
it, but of course in your own way.
Yes, what I used to do is I used to follow the trends, but I usually like to do the same thing on the trend, but with extra. Like I put maybe extra special effects.
And of course, it will make you special.
Yeah.
This is the
And
way.
which makes it even better than all the regular videos on the trend. So yeah, I used to go with the trends, but nowadays I don't find any good trends. I try to find trends which are like, okay, cool ideas. I can add some effects on it.
And with this happening, this made you think, okay, I should have my own unique,
Yeah, this is
ideas.
this is what it is. Like when I create my content, I don't want to be a regular content creator. I actually want to be a unique one. So this is why when I get my ideas, I like my ideas to be unique, something out of the box. I like to have something which is unrealistic, something that has to do with special effects, for example, or some kind of ideas that were never done before.
I guess something will make the people go, wow.
Yes.
Yeah? I feel you. Now, the feedback of the people. Some may be positive and some be negative. So how do you react to the negative part of the comment section?
I usually react positively with everyone. But sometimes, you get these kind of comments where they're focusing on this 1% mistake and they forget about the 99% good thing. It's annoying. But the thing
You
is,
can't control it.
no, you have to control it.
You can't control them.
No,
Yeah,
I
you-
cannot.
Yeah.
The thing is, you have to ignore. I have to ignore. I can't say anything. It's actually a good thing because you're helping me. You're pointing at my mistakes because this is going to help me improve in the future. And actually, all of my contents have mistakes, but some of the mistakes nobody has seen. Like even
It's only the creator himself notice.
Yes,
yeah.
that happens. I notice my own mistakes, but sometimes nobody notices the mistakes.
Like you be like, I'm waiting for that comment that shows that there's
No,
a mistake.
no, I'm not waiting for it. I don't want it to show. I'm just running away from that kind of comment. But it's not a bad thing to have some mistakes in your videos because when you start something, you have to have a lot of mistakes. You have to fail. So failing is actually the step which is for success. So when doing mistakes and people when they're pointing at my mistakes, then yeah, okay.
I will become better in
I used to have more of these comments where they point at the mistakes. But now
Gradually with time,
it's getting less.
fading away.
Yeah, so I felt like, okay, maybe I don't have mistakes anymore, not as much as before.
Fair enough. And now, one curious question, which is about the most viewed video if you have.
Yes.
Either on TikTok, Instagram. What is it, and what's the story behind it?
It was actually a funny video. It was a trend. I don't remember the trend. I think it's a hashtag that it says meme or meme myself or meme myself or something like this. Like it's like you're trying to copy somebody.
All right.
In a way. So what I was doing is I was in front of the camera. I was standing in front of the camera, and I knew the idea. So I was trying to pose the same exact pose that my friend was posing in his photo.
All right.
I took my friend's photo, and I was posing the same exact photo. He's a bodybuilder.
All right.
So I'm not a bodybuilder. So my body's shape is different than his body shape. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to be funny. So when I was standing, the same pose he was doing, and then all of a sudden his photo comes up, and I've sent the video to my friend, and he was actually like he was dying of laughter.
Well, Ahmed, I mean, if we had more time, of course, we will be talking more about the stories and the videos that you create and the content, whether either it's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. But right now, I really would like you to look at the camera again.
Okay.
And give the people an advice for those who would like to start content creating.
Okay.
An advice for them.
So as a starter, you can start being a content creator using only your phone, and this is how I've actually started. I started just using my cell phone. If you want to go with a professional camera, you can do so, but the more equipment, the more filming equipment you have, the more responsibility you're going to be having. And so, but if you want to start, you just want to know some things, you want to gain some experience, so just go with the cell phone and start with it. And if you want to post on social media, you want to post your content, just make sure you post continuously. And yeah.
You heard the man. Well, thank you so much, Ahmed, for the advice and for being part of this lovely interview. Of course, if we had more time, we would be talking more.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Thank you so much. And I'm sure we're going to meet up again.
Of course, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
With that said, dear viewers, we have reached the end of this lovely episode of New Media. Astonishing guest as usual. Everything is great and amazing with New Media.